Hi, my name is Lucy Huxley. I'm a whore, and welcome to my bedroom. Today, I am actually in the bedroom of a male escort for the first time ever. I am here with Rhys Phillips.
Pleasure to be here. I am also a whore.
I always love hearing different guests' reaction to that little intro. A lot of
It's
them
great.
say, yeah, I'm also a whore. We're both whores. We're here together. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. So my name is Rhys Phillips. I'm a full-service sex worker for women and couples. Mainly, there is a lot of what I do is surrounding intimacy, confidence, building, such as I've forgotten what I do. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of it is travel as well. So I'm from Australia. I travel around the world between Europe, Canada. It's not all spicy work, as we know. A lot of it is also companionship. So I think a lot of what I do is just being there for people.
Yeah.
And for me specifically, it's, I guess, more of a clinical or therapeutic approach, or at least that's how I started, with the intention of fun being in there. So, yeah.
I'm really excited to dive into it because I feel like we have such different jobs, even though technically we do the same thing because I service men and you service women. There's so many differences. So I have a long list of things to talk about.
I'm ready.
But I just want to let the audience know before we get into that we are going to fuck after this and you can watch it.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm excited to show all the people. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm going to time the release so that we release our sex tape the same day as the podcast comes out. So if you're listening to this, if you like what you see, you should subscribe to one of our OnlyFans and you can see us go all the way on this same bed.
A lot more.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting thing to think about because it's like we have no idea what it's going to be like.
Yeah, we don't know what it's going to be like yet.
And we're like, let's tell the people about it.
I mean,
advertise how good it is without knowing what we are like.
I feel very confident it's going to be good.
Okay.
How do you feel?
I feel
about
confident after the conversation. You know, the consent conversation, the expectations conversation.
Right, that makes sense.
I once I know how I fit into the equation, then I'm like so excited.
Okay.
I know it's going to be fun.
I just know like we're both professionals. Like I think we're both good at our jobs. Like it's gonna.
I like the optimism.
That's
gonna sell it all. I think the optimism is so good because like I've worked with workers before, and sometimes the power dynamic is a bit of a struggle. Like you're both trying to take charge because you're so used to being in charge in that space.
Right. Yeah. Because you're used to being the one who is like guiding things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's often been a bit of a power struggle.
Okay.
Not often. Okay, it's happened a couple of times, but it's different.
Okay. Has that happened with like OnlyFans collaborations or like, because I guess do other sex workers book you for full service as well? Does that happen in that situation?
That's happened a handful of times.
Okay.
But a very different type of people, sex workers, especially sexually, compared to, the average bear kind of thing.
In what way?
Well, I mean, for starters, sex workers are a lot more experienced in what they want and what they know, and sometimes it's a different level of engagement sexually. Like sex workers are so tuned in that space of vulnerability that they're going to click onto, especially women, are going to click onto everything that you bring to the table. If you're not enjoying it, they're going to know.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And like a woman's intuition is so powerful. So even not sex workers will tune into that. But for sex workers specifically, it's like, what would you look for if you were going to hire a male escort?
I mean, I did think about doing it when I was younger because I was like, it would be so nice to just have a man there to do what I want, basically. Not that like to do whatever I want. Like obviously there are boundaries and agreements within sex work, but for the focus to really be on my pleasure and to like relax into that.
Yeah, and as a sex worker, what would that be?
Like what pleasure would I be looking for specifically?
Exactly.
I think just the focus being on me because when I'm with my clients, the focus is on them.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
And I don't know, like the specific things depend on my mood, like my fantasies and my sexual desires like fluctuate a lot depending on my mood and how I'm feeling that day and what I've been thinking about that week.
Yeah. Which again leads to this whole conversation where sex workers' spectrum of sexuality and intimacy is so broad compared to general public and people. It's very specific. So that's why I need to have these conversations, because I'm like, my perspective could be huge compared to my clients, who is quite small. So I've got to be like, what scope of practice am I experimenting with this person in?
Yeah.
Whereas I've had clients who were sex workers and their spectrum is broader than mine. And I was like, oh, there's more depth to this than I was prepared to engage in tonight. And it's been really like, it's kind of been exciting, because you don't know what you don't know. And so if I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't be as thrilled about learning more, because it kind of like reinvigorated what I know about sex in that moment. And that was just a specific person that I had in Sydney that was like, had been in the industry for a while and had a lot more to show me in regards to what the experience can be. And I was like, that's really cool, because I thought that, not that I knew everything, but I thought that I knew enough to like...
Yeah, normally in your work, you're the one who has the experience and is like showing your clients things. And so to have that reversed is, yeah.
But it's good to know that we can just tangent off and talk for 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, I haven't even gotten to my first point I wanted to ask you. So the first point is, how did you get into being a sex worker? Because I'm really curious how it first came to your mind, because as women, we kind of learned from a young age that being a sex worker is a possibility, because female sex workers are so heavily represented in the media, not necessarily in a good way, but like, you know, most of us know by the time we're teenagers that like being a woman, like a sex worker, is possible. But that doesn't really happen for men. Like, how did you realize that it was a possibility, and then that it was something that you wanted to do?
That's actually a really good take on the question, because the amount of times I've been asked, you know, how'd you get into it? This is like, where did it stem from? And I think it stemmed from a few places. And there was certain shows I grew up watching. Two specifically come to mind. There was a show called Hung, which was about a school teacher who became a paid sex worker. And it was more of like a
woman or a man?
He was a man.
Okay.
A male teacher becoming a sex worker because he had a big dick, kind of thing. It was like how he paid for life.
Like Girthmaster.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because that's all you need to be a full service sex worker.
Exactly.
Just be hung.
Yeah. That's what the whole premise of this show was about. And then I think it was a couple of years later, the reality TV show Gigolos came out, which was about, you know, Cowboys for Angels in Las Vegas. And of course we had unbridled internet back then, so we would just download the whole series. And that's when I was like, oh, these people actually do exist. Back then I was quite young, so it never appealed to me that was the direction I would go down. It was more, now you've mentioned it, there were kind of things that influenced my perception of sex work. That I saw a agency with, you know, the top guys, and they try to push more of a dramatic narrative on the reality of it, but it's like, I didn't know that you could do it at all, quite frankly, because you're right, you don't see it in social media. Those would have to be the two kickstart things that influenced where I was going, and then years later kind of fell into it from being a uni student, being broke, and being like, okay, topless waitering is an option.
Topless waitering. Is that common for men in Australia? Is it like, did you know someone who was doing it, or like, how did you?
No, I didn't know anyone that was doing it. I had a breakup, went to the gym a lot. Had a girl I was seeing be like, hey, you should try this. And I saw it as like, you know, a lot of money for a little time. And I was like, perfect, I'll do topless waitering in certain places, like events and stuff. And it was really good. And then after a year of that, I met some of the male strippers. So I got into male stripping. And then a year after that, because it's very seasonal, it's like the autumn and spring is wedding season, hens parties and whatnot. There wasn't really much to do between. And so I eventually went into full service work. And that was a bit of like a rocky or turbulent time, but it was good to transition to something that was same amount of time but more money kind of thing. It was just kind of like the narrative of being a student was you have no time or money. Yeah. So the less time for more money is always a good thing. And then I kind of just didn't go back to uni.
Okay, you just stuck with it.
Yeah.
What were you studying in uni?
I did my bachelor. I have my bachelor in health science. I was doing my master's. I tried to go back last year, but it was a lot to take in and organize, and it was a very stressful time just for the fun of it. Turns out I have a limit on how much energy and time I can do things.
Unfortunately, we do. It sucks.
This existential crisis. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's kind of how I fell into it naturally. And when I say like the turbulent time to begin with is like, obviously as a unknowing cisgender straight man, your idea of what sex work is like, you've got to look like a Greek god and you've got to have a huge dick and like all these things that are very male focused, or like male gaze expectations of value, whereas the female focus is very different, and it took me a little while to learn that. So what would happen is I would get a lot of my bookings with men to start with, and I don't think I got a lot of my female clients until like 2 years into the industry.
Okay, so in the beginning you were advertising to both men and women?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though I present as straight, it's like you can still offer straight men to the gay community.
Yeah. A lot of gay guys love
it.
that. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So having a background in health science, I was like, I can do massage and I'm comfortable being naked. I don't care too much about, what they do. It's more, what can I do to add value? And I think I've just kind of kept that message throughout my career. And this was back in 2018, 2019. So it's been a while.
Yeah, so it's been like 8 years that you've been doing this.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
I'm curious about, like, you mentioned learning how to advertise to women and learning what women want. Can you tell me more about that? Like, how did you learn that, and what did you learn?
Okay, I was gonna say, because the cliche question is like, what do women want? And I'm like, I'm not even qualified to answer that question. I don't know why people keep asking me this.
Well, what have you learned about it? What did you figure out in order to market to them?
So much. I was telling my friend about this as well, because he started getting into full service work as a content person originally. And I pitched this to him ages ago, and he actually listened, which is fantastic, because it came up on a podcast with him as well. So I was like, okay, at least he's listening to some of the things I say. And it was like, okay, think of the value points that we speak about, or that we know of as different genders. Like, men are very visual, stimulating. They're very, they want to see success, and they also want to quantify it. So they need to see stats. They need like
reviews.
Exactly.
Bra sizes and.
I don't think they need to see that. I think they just need to see a photo and they're like, it's pretty, I want it, kind of thing. Whereas women are very much more, I want to feel a certain way. Speaking on behalf of women, I don't like doing that. But from my perspective, it's been like, you've made me feel safe. You come across as someone who can hold space without taking over the conversation or taking over the experience, or trying to push a separate agenda onto what I live with. And I think that was a huge element of value, because it's like I'm going to say this very directly. On some of the directories that I'm on, it's come to my attention that I'm the only one smiling in the photos. And I know why. And it's because men have designed their own profiles to look cool to them and not cool to their clients.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're just on there fully tensed and oiled up to look a certain way on these directories. And then there's just me smiling in just a face photo, and it does really well. And I think that's basically the contrast of men and women, is like looking like you have emotion and that you are happy to be around or enjoy being there with someone changes how you market towards them. So it's like women are invested in emotion. They're invested in how they feel with someone. Obviously looks matter to a degree, but it's definitely not the be all end all.
Yeah, it's not the most important thing.
Yeah, at all.
For sure. Yeah.
Yes, I agree 100%.
So, like, how did you come to learn that? Was it through like trial and error, or like asking questions to clients that you had, or like researching? Like, how did you figure it out? That's
a good question. I think it was definitely learning what different people are into. Like, I always knew that, men and women are different, and that's kind of the beauty of men and women. It shouldn't be used as like a discourse, but it's like, okay, if women tell you that they enjoy how you make them feel, it kind of gives you the foundations for how you should be adding value. So rather than seeing it as a product, which a lot of, I assume what your clients are looking for, they're looking for set services, right? Mine are looking for experiences as far as like what they want to feel in that moment. So it's like, I want to feel curious, I want to feel exhilarating, I want to feel thrilling, but then there's this like juggle between nervousness and excitement that I have to like talk them through, because that comes and goes in waves. And it's, I think how I learned was very much just, I think through observation, mainly
paying attention.
Yeah. And it's the chicken and egg situation. Like, without seeing more female clients, how was I meant to learn to get more female clients?
Yeah.
And then I guess it snowballed into what it is today, where I have a lot of travel work, but also a lot of regular clients. Like, I kind of struggle to fit new clients unless it's like months in advance now, and that's just because I'm away for a month, or at this point I'm away for like 6 weeks, and then I'm at home for 3 weeks, and then I'm in Canada for 6 weeks again. So,
and you have women all over the world waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah, as egotistical as that sounds, yes, I think that is true.
Because there are, I don't know if like listeners understand that there are like no good male escorts that service women.
You keep saying this.
Because there's not, like, we talked about this before we started recording, and I've talked about this with friends also. Like, there just isn't. I even, like, this morning before I came here, I had a look on Trist, which is like the main escort directory that I use, and I was like, let's just see what men are advertising to women in London right now. And it was awful. I think there were only about 8 profiles.
Good start.
Whereas with women, there's what, like probably 300 to 500.
Yeah.
In London,
just on that directory.
Least. Yeah, on that one directory. So there were 8 profiles. There was only one of them where he seemed safe and nice, and he was smiling in his photos, but he was wearing like skinny jeans and sweaters in all of his photos.
Okay.
And like, you couldn't really see his body, and he wasn't my type personally.
Yeah.
There were quite a few trans men, which seemed lovely, but for like a straight woman looking for a straight man, like not the demographic they're usually looking for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then there were like a few guys with like weird profile names and like these oiled up, really posed photos, charging like super low rates and like talking about what a great lover they were. And that's it.
This is fun.
That's all there is.
I wish I had time to like break down directories, because that would be a really fun little conversation to be like, go through people's profiles and
review them
and pick apart where they have gone horribly wrong and where they could go right. That's really funny. Also, I'm very sorry that that you have this perspective of there's no good male escorts, but that's the other thing. It's a very isolated side of the industry. We don't have community. We don't have really much communication. I talked to maybe 3 or 4 different guys, specifically in Australia. And that's mostly when they reach out for like advice or something. I don't see a lot of men coming into the industry with good intentions. Yeah,
for sure. I met a guy a couple months ago who told me that he wanted to start escorting and having women as clients, and he basically was like, yeah, I think it will be fun to get paid to sleep with hot women.
Amazing.
and I was like, that's what you think this job is?
Yeah.
Like, and then he asked me after that, he was like, do you ever have clients that like you're not physically attracted to? And I was like, what do you
I get asked this question all the time.
Yeah, and I was like, what do you think my job is? Like, you just think my job is just like fucking hot guys all the time? And also, I don't care. Like, to be clear, I don't care about my clients' physical attractiveness. That is like, I've talked about this before. It's so low on the list of things that matter to me. It's really, really not important. Yeah. But he was like, how do you deal with it if you're not physically attracted to them? And I was like, so you want to start escorting and you have not thought about this? Like, you just think you're going to get paid to have like hot sex with hot women? And I think that's what so many men think the job is. And I think that's a big reason why there are so few good male escorts, because men really struggle to approach the job with the depth that women are looking for.
Yeah, or need.
Yeah.
It's not even looking for, like, yes, they're looking for it, but they definitely need that depth in order to have those conversations. Just conversations, let alone trusting men with their bodies, without layers, without like guards up. It's a totally different game. And you've mentioned, like, you've touched over so many different things that are just easy to dive into and be like, we can talk about this for an hour or this for an hour. And it's like, okay,
Pick
I'm just
one.
I'm just gonna like crash through them. But it's like, okay, yes, men come in with the wrong intentions a lot of the time, and that's why they don't last. So you'll see a lot of men that will come in for a few months and then disappear with a different venture because it didn't work. They weren't making the money they thought they would make. And like I said, I was going for 2 years until I could do full time with women, and I was like, those 2 years were a struggle. But if you don't commit to it, then what's the point? And if I didn't get through that, then there's no way I would be where I am today.
What made you want to commit through those 2 years? Like, what kept you going?
I think I just wanted to see what would happen. I think a part of me was very much curious about where this path leads and what degree and capacity can I experience the industry, and where does it, like, what is the peak of this industry? Because I don't know if I'll ever know, being a man. Obviously, as a woman, you see a lot of luxury to it, and as a man, I feel like I create a lot of luxury around the places I get to go and the people I get to meet. But I don't think that is like an experience that all my clients want to take me on. I think a lot of the experiences that I have with clients is me bringing them into luxury, alternatively than being, shown a vacation in Italy for 2 weeks, which is what just happened. so like, it's not all my clients, but it's definitely like majority.
Mm-hmm.
The what was the original question?
Why there are no good male escorts.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. That was a good one.
Oh no, and why you committed through the first 2 years.
So okay, yeah. I think I committed because I felt like I'd already done a lot of the hard work, and I felt like I could continue. I think I resonated with what I do very early on as finding a sense of purpose. And I think once I found that sense of purpose, I wanted to see what I could accomplish with it. And I always wanted to provide value for people and have fun. And those have been the intentions the entire time. But it's, how do I continue those intentions and grow as a person? Because I feel like it's either progress or regress, and this is all just personal opinion. So this is like underlying the sex work side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how do I progress in every avenue? And that's a hard thing to do, as I've learned. So it's like, okay, if I can do really well with male clientele just for massage, how do I do really well for female clientele, and what does that look like? And how do I approach that audience? Because that audience doesn't exist on directories. That's mainly majority male demanding women.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when I found that, like, social media is a great way to approach my audience directly because of the algorithms and stuff. So pushing through was just a matter of, I think I just created an identity and stuck with it. And I found that I created purpose and value within myself, being that persona.
Mm-hmm.
And then why there's no good male escorts would probably be a lack of emotional awareness. I think that's probably the biggest struggle that I would... Actually, I don't know what the biggest struggle would be. Like I said, it's a whole spectrum of things.
Yeah, I think it's like lack of emotional awareness, and lack of like understanding what women really want and need, which I actually think is like a problem in our society in general. And one of the reasons that like dating is so hard is
100%.
that women have very high standards in dating nowadays, and men really lack the knowledge to meet those standards and also the willingness to learn.
I'm very glad you said that. That makes me very happy. Yes, 100%. It's our generation and the generation before us that was, especially women, were put under pressure to meet a certain standard, and they had to try a lot harder to meet the expected praise of men. And then what's happened is women have kind of succeeded men in those areas, but then men have fallen behind in the areas that women already were good at, which was social compatibility, communication, emotional maturity, community. Like,
And men are also starting to fall behind in education
yes,
and in work in certain industries.
big time.
I think I saw a TikTok video recently saying that until recently, men were needed in society. Like, women needed men. They needed a husband. They needed a man's permission to do anything. And now we're at a point where women don't need men. And men are having a really hard time figuring out, first of all, how to not be needed and how to be okay with being wanted and how to figure out how to be wanted.
Yes. Yeah.
I think men in general don't understand how to be wanted by women, and I think they feel uncomfortable with it also. They want to be needed, and being desired is something that they don't, as a group, necessarily have experience with.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to be needed or chosen, and wanted in some capacities. I think a lot of the troubles we have in gender is also specifically troubles that we have as individuals. I think I would agree with you that the gap in emotional maturity, communication is like so far apart that some people are not willing to adapt, and therefore they will fall behind. And I think that's where a lot of this loneliness epidemic comes from. And I say that because, men are throwing their hands up and being like, it's a male loneliness epidemic.
Yeah.
But I can assure you, loneliness is on both genders.
It is.
Like,
It's been proven in studies that
Yeah.
men are not suffering more than women are.
yeah, they're just complaining about it.
Yeah,
more.
and they're not taking steps to fix it. Women are more likely to like seek out community and create events and like try and meet people, and men are just like, well, it's not my fault that women are all bitches now.
I agree with you in what you're saying, but like, also, when did it become uncool for men to go to therapy?
Yeah, I mean, I do think it is cooler now than it used to be, for sure. Many more men go to therapy now than they used to.
Yep.
But certainly not enough.
Oh, definitely not enough. And therapy doesn't, I think the perception of therapy needs to change for men. It's not somewhere to just express your feelings. It's also somewhere to get tools to manage your feelings. And I think that's a huge step in the right direction. But then to talk about it from a perspective that is observation is very different to a perspective that is participation. And I think that's a very unique conversation that they need to have. Like, it's all good for men to say these things, but then they need to live it. They need to execute these things. And most of the time they're pretty good at executing actions. They're not very good at executing actions based on emotions that don't make sense to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because therapy isn't just going to fix you. Like, therapy depends on how deep you're willing to go, how much work you're willing to do on yourself, how vulnerable you're willing to be in therapy. Like, it depends what you bring to the table. I personally have had some like really shitty, awful boyfriends who like went to therapy, and when I met them, I was like, oh, it's great, they're like emotionally intelligent, they go to therapy, and then 2 years later I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like,
Yes.
the therapy is not working.
Yeah. Or it's weaponized in some cases.
Yes,
as well.
yeah, they learn like therapy language.
Yeah.
And they learn, it's my boundary.
I've seen that from both ends.
Yeah.
Like, I've had partners in the past who are very immersed in therapy, and then it's weaponized later on. I think it's like most things we see. Like, it's a tool.
Yeah.
And you can choose to use it for good or bad. I think intention is a huge part of it. But that gender divide that we see is also why there are no good male escorts. And I can do all I can to try and like bring that divide together, but it's not really going to happen until the people who need to learn actually learn. Does that make sense? So like, they have to be willing to adapt. And I don't think many people, specifically men, are willing to take on those demons that are making them depressed, making them sad, making them unhealthy. And until they do, they just have to sit there and complain.
I mean, the first step is like admitting that they don't know. It's like admitting that they have a problem.
Yeah.
And I think it's too much. It's too difficult for so many men to admit that they don't know something, or that they have a problem, or that they need help.
That would compromise their ego, and therefore it would compromise their identity.
And it would compromise their masculinity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the forefront of why that is a problem for them.
Yeah.
And I think they just need to have a huge mental breakdown. I'm just kidding.
More men should have mental breakdowns.
Oh,
Thanks for
goodness.
coming to our TED Talk.
Yes, yeah. Conclusion.
Do you mention that because you had a mental breakdown that led to your enlightenment?
Probably,
Or-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I've had my series of issues, of course. I think they definitely shaped me to who I am today, but learning more about as a neurodivergent person, was I experiencing depression or was I experiencing a autism meltdown? And that was kind of something that I learned last year, because I was like, I don't know what these feelings are and I can't intellectualize them properly, and I can't, the original exercises aren't working anymore. So what is wrong? And it turns out I just needed to learn more about myself, which again, people should learn. Those men looking to become male sex workers should learn more about themselves first and foremost. Like, why do they get angry? I find it's either black and white for men. They either feel good or they feel bad. The problem is when they feel bad, they don't know what bad they feel. Is it grief? Is it rejection? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it all of these things? And they just lump it into whatever, and their subconscious gives them an action, which is either internal violence or external violence. And then there's a whole other conversation around that altogether.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah. That's, I guess, another perspective.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am curious, what are kind of the general demographics of like the type of women that book you? Maybe like a few common archetypes that you see in your clients. Like, for example, for my work, I would say like the archetypes of clients that book me generally is I get like really shy and neurodivergent guys who want to book an escort because there's obviously a lack of rejection and they feel safe with me and they feel comfortable with me. Yep. Then I get these like high-powered rich businessmen who don't really have time for traditional dating or are looking to step outside of their marriage, and an escort arrangement just makes sense for that.
Yeah.
So those are a couple examples of like archetypes on my end.
Yeah, those are really good examples. I think it's for me specifically, I can round off a couple, and it seems like you're looking for the personality types and what their needs are.
Yeah, and like what their reason for booking you is, I guess.
There is such a diverse range of women that seek out my type of services for all sorts of reasons. There is the wives, between cucking and hot wifing, two very different subjects. It's usually, for me, it's hot wifing because I'm more of a praise person than I am a degradation person.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain the difference between cucking and hot wifing for listeners who might not know?
Of course. So cucking or cuckolding is more about degrading the person,
degrading the husband,
the third party.
Yeah.
Husband, wife. It's like you're doing this in front of them in order to make them feel a certain way, and I assume it's for a very big adrenaline rush. Being put in that position often can be tied up, can be not tied up. There's rules involved. There's so much communication involved. But cuckolding is definitely on the premise of degrading someone that isn't participating in the activity. Hot wifing is like it's like a pleasure. It's like a trophy. It's like sharing something that the third party enjoys with someone else.
It's a celebration of how hot the wife is.
Can be, yeah. Or it's celebration of the wife receiving pleasure from someone else. It's like, here is this treat kind of thing for you that I want to be a part of. So it's completely different in that, like for me, hot wifing is including often the husband, whether it is with little videos or video calling them during the session to be like, hey, this is like, not for me specifically, but definitely from her telling him, how lucky she is and how good she's being treated and like how good she feels and stuff like that. And it's exhilarating because it's like those types of bookings are so much fun. And I think one of the best ones I had was being invited to this penthouse, and he organized this whole scene with cameras everywhere, and it was glorious. And then as we were playing, he would just come in and like get us towels or water, and then just check in on her and
That's so
check in on
hot.
me, and it was so beautiful. It was so good. And we were just playing, and then we'd stop for a bit, and then we'd play some more, and he'd come and chat, and we'd have the best time. We were going for like 4 hours to 6 hours, just
Amazing.
being like, this is just such a good night. I don't think I left till like 3 in the morning. So
That sounds like so much fun.
it is. It's something that I really enjoy. But those are the difference between, like, obviously intention. Intention is a
Yeah.
big thing. Yeah. That's one archetype of clientele that I get. Sometimes it's wives who have husbands that are asexual, but didn't know they were asexual until later in life. That being like, they miss the thrill of connection. They miss human contact. Their love language hasn't been fulfilled, and so they don't feel desired anymore, and they want that feeling back. And that's really important, I think, to everybody, to want that feeling of being desired and feeling desirable. So yeah, there's that within just the couples archetypes. And then when it comes to more single women, I mean, you have people who have just got out of a divorce, who have been under high stress, high pressure, and they just want to feel like they can give that responsibility over to someone that is safe for them to do that, and that they don't have to, navigate kids or a life or a career, and they just can relax for a little bit. I think that's where a lot of the BDSM clientele kind of come in as a demographic, because it's a similar power dynamic for a lot of highly successful people that have very stressful, high pressure lives, to come and see a sex worker and alleviate some of that pressure for a moment. It's almost like a therapeutic thing for them.
Yeah, to be able to let go and let someone else take control.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. And guide them on this experience that is
Yeah.
like what intimacy could have been or should have been, or maybe not what they're looking for at all, and we just miscommunicate. Like, these things happen, and the moment I'm like, I know everything, is the moment that everything's going to turn to shit, so it's fine. So yeah, that's a separate archetype as well, is those looking for a different power dynamic compared to their everyday life.
So for BDSM, do you offer like topping and bottoming, or just will you only be the dominant one, or do you submit to clients as well?
I'm strictly more of a top than, I think, as a professional. It's also not something I've really explored in my personal life either. So I wouldn't really know how to do, like, obviously I've done it before in certain contexts of kink, whether it is shibari or like even just body worship sometimes, but it's not something that I would feel confident as offering as a service. It's also like, BDSM is its own realm. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not one to be like, I do BDSM bookings, because I don't. I utilize a lot of the BDSM foundations around communication, and I utilize a lot of the power dynamic, like education around it as well, and types of play. But I'm more of like a introductory into BDSM for vanilla people.
Yeah, because I also similarly, like, I will offer some domination to my clients, but I say it's like dominant girlfriend experience.
Yes.
So I don't have the experience to do like a full on pro dom session in a dungeon, but I will be like your kinky girlfriend who's gonna like tie you up and like, degrade you a little bit if you want, and like bring a bit of that power dynamic into it, but it's still like based on a companion relationship.
I like
it sounds
that.
like it's similar for you.
Yeah, very. I'm like, I like that so much more, because I'm the same. I haven't done the years of apprenticeship in a dungeon to justify me being the BDSM provider, and I am aware of other male providers in Australia, specifically Melbourne, I think is a hub for it, that do really well with those types of bookings. And I don't think I would do it justice either. Like,
It's something that I think you need a lot of training for to do properly.
yeah. But I mean, I just did all my own research on BDSM to introduce it to people, and if they want things that are more intense, I would usually just kind of like suggest that they seek out facilities, like establishments that are reputable, and I think that makes a huge difference. But yes, I think what you described as a kinky boyfriend experience is basically what it is. It's very limited and based on the toys that they have, not necessarily the toys that I have, because I want to encourage toys in the bedroom a lot more.
Do you have toys, like a set that you bring to bookings and like offer to use with your clients?
No.
Okay.
No. I would. I would rather my clients use their own toys because
Yeah.
it's a very intimate thing
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it's
I
very
mean,
personal.
like, I know, for example, like in dungeons and stuff, like my friends who are pro doms, they have toys that they use on their clients and then put condoms on them. And I guess in that setting, it's expected to have all of the equipment to be able to provide your client. But in your setting, it's different, obviously.
Yeah, it is different. You have to like keep in mind my clientele are very new to sex and sex work. So like the way I've built my clientele is directly from the public.
Yeah, because I guess that's another thing I was thinking about is like I do sometimes see clients who we call them hobbyists, like where their hobby is seeing escorts and they have seen so many different escorts. And I guess that doesn't really happen
Not at
for
all.
you. Like
No.
maybe sometimes you get women who have seen male escorts before, but like it's not like they're seeing a different one every week.
No, not at all. And most of the time they've seen another male escort either on a recommendation of a specific experience or I'm not in the country or in town. So they, outsourced. And that's probably the most I hear about it, but not every week.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many women that are hobbyists in the industry.
Yeah. I mean, I was also thinking like cuz you mentioned getting clients on social media and like I would assume that a lot of your clientele they find you on social media and then realize that they want to book you as opposed to them specifically thinking I want to book a male escort and going looking on an escort directory.
Yeah.
What do you like is that what happens? Like where they find you first and then realize they want to book you as opposed to being like I want to book a male escort and then looking for you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's probably like 10% that are like that will seek a directory and be like, I want to hire a male escort, but they're not like. I'm gonna say this from experience that the clients I see would have been watching the directories for over a year before they actually decide to book someone, whereas men will just see a pretty picture and be like, I'm messaging that person.
Yeah.
So my clients I see would be like, I've been watching you for 2 years to get an understanding before I was able to book.
Wow.
And that's because they weren't in a position in which they could, or they wanted to feel safe, or they wanted to give it time, because women aren't spontaneously going to put themselves in danger.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like even though it's not so much dangerous, it's more like the perception of danger.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. So they are more calculated in their own urges. Does that make sense? Like
Totally.
it's the emotional maturity between I feel this way and I want it immediately. Like
I mean, women are just not socialized to do that. We're not socialized to like immediately take action on our own desires. We're socialized to consider other people's desires first, and we have to consider our safety first, and so many things around it.
Yeah.
Whereas men usually feel more comfortable just being like, I want this, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it's like the difference between instant satisfaction and long-term gratification, which is probably another reason why I have a lot of repeat clients as well. It's like they put so much thought into it and it exceeded expectations for them specifically that they want to see me again. So a lot of the time when I come to Europe, I will have already another set of dates for Europe next year. And after I see my clients this year, they'll want to book in for next year already. Yeah. Because women are also, they plan ahead.
Yeah.
But you have to. Like, you can't, like the cycles and everything that you need to, like, organize your life around.
Yeah, true.
Means that you have to prepare.
Yeah.
Whereas men don't have that.
Yeah.
So they're just
like, I want to fuck today.
Yeah. In the next hour.
Yeah. I want to circle back to make sure we finish the archetypes of clients that
Sorry.
What?
Yeah, I got tangents. Yeah.
The archetypes of clients that book you.
Okay.
If we finish that list or not.
No. Well, I mean, we started going into single women.
Yes.
And we went into like recent divorcees, and then we went into the high pressure successful type of clients that are similar to yours as far as what their needs are. And I think there's also a demographic of clients that are neurodivergent that come in and just they need more understanding from where their brain can not keep up, sorry, that's a bad word to describe it. It's more they communicate differently, and to me I'm like, that's perfect because it's more direct.
Yeah, they need more structure and more directness, and
yes,
and what we do it like offers that perfectly.
Yeah.
Like we're able to speak openly about it and set it up, and they can know what to expect, instead of like meeting someone off a dating app and you don't know what to expect and you don't know what's going to happen and you don't know what they're going to be like. And
Yeah, the amount of horror stories I've heard of dating apps and dates is insurmountable, and we wouldn't have enough time on this podcast to go through them all. But it was that kind of fascination with neurodivergency once I brought it up on social media as being very easy for those clients to come to me and be like, I want this, 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 and this. I don't need this, 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 and let's have some fun kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, here's how I would explain things a little bit easier. And like, I think it's been the most efficient conversations that I've had with people. like usually it takes about an hour for just the talking in my bookings to not just get everything that needs to be spoken about, but also to let the nerves kind of dwindle down a little bit.
So you like start to feel comfortable with each other and like
Yeah,
get to know each other a little bit.
Exactly.
And settle into it. Yeah.
Whereas neurodivergent people, they're not just like how do I say this? They don't need as much time because they've done a hyper-focused research session across days.
They've already mentally prepared.
Yeah, and on not just the activity, but who I am as a person. Like they will go to all the ends of the internet to find, out anything about what I've done, podcasts, blogs.
That's what I found with my neurodivergent clients as well, is that like they know so much about me, they're so prepared.
Yes, yeah.
And it makes them more comfortable because they know what to expect. They can understand a bit like who I am as a person from what I share online.
Exactly, and the nerves aren't necessarily that big for them as well. And what else? There's been so many different versions of people that I've met all around the world.
You also mentioned that like you have clients who come to you who are like recovering from trauma or coming out of abuse and looking for like a safe, intimate experience, which is something that they haven't had access to.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's kind of everywhere, right? Like if you think about statistically, 1 in 5 women have had a experience of sexual assault, and that's just on record statistically.
Yeah, I think it's way higher than that.
Yeah, I think it's like way higher.
Yeah.
And that's just not, and like one is sexual assault, and then you've got like domestic violence, and then you've got just assault or sexual objectification as well. Like that's something you learn early on, like you said earlier, and it's deconstructing the narrative of belief around their sexuality because of things like purity culture, depending on religious upbringing. You've also got a huge shame and stigma from the like gender divide that we see a lot of. We also have a lot of, I think, aggression towards women's sexuality, even though it is heavily marketed towards them by mainstream media. And I think that's also like a bit of a conflicting perception for women as well.
What do you mean by that?
So like women are very much marketed sexuality in a way that is alluring.
I mean, we're marketed sexuality from the male gaze. We're not really marketed sexuality for ourselves, like for our own empowerment and for our own enjoyment.
Yeah, but if you are unaware of that, you would think that that's what you need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're brought up to think that that's what you need to be. And that's why I see a lot of young women, specifically, that don't know what their wants or needs or boundaries are, fall into that trap of, I can, the ones that can actually do it are very much like taken advantage of, unfortunately, as far as being sexually objectified. And they don't realize until later in life that that's what was happening all along. And the other issue on the other end of that spectrum is the boys and men that are unaware that they are doing the damage and they think that it's normal is the other issue that we have. But as far as trauma goes, a lot of the clients that I see on that level is more about building experience with men or masculine energy that allows them to relax. And that's really, it's quite heartbreaking, I think, like a lot of the time for me specifically, but it's more, I would work a lot with these people in just sitting with them and just talking to them and processing emotions. And I think it's a lot to do with, there is a strong correlation between contamination and disgust. And I think when you're traumatized, you're made to feel disgusted, whether that is perceived personally or projected onto you by the public. And then I think when you have this emotion of disgust, and then you, let's just say, collaborate it with the feeling
Correlate it.
great word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what I was looking for. Yeah, when you have disgust and the feeling of contamination collaboratively together, you find that people who are generally traumatized to a point of disgust are very clean because they feel like they can never get clean. And I think you'll find a lot of sex workers have very long showers when they have a rough booking in order to feel clean, so that they can feel accepted again by society, because they are either, like I said, personally internalized disgust or feel like it will be projected onto them by the public. And that's just one level of trauma. And I think that's something that you can understand because of your work, but also your friends. But it's a similar issue across everybody. Identifying that contamination and disgust, like contamination is like the subconscious habit that happens.
Can you explain more what you mean by contamination?
Like you feel contaminated, you feel like you are dirty, right? And that is kind of the subconscious projection of disgust. And then
so contaminated by the trauma makes you feel dirty and disgusted with yourself.
Yeah, and it's not even, and you don't realize it at the time. It's always like, trauma is one of those things that it's relative. So you'll feel it reflecting on it later, or you'll feel these emotions come up and you're like, why? Where is this coming from? Why do I feel disgusted? Why do I feel bad to begin with? So then what is the opposite to contamination as far as feeling clean? So then why do you want to feel clean? Is so that you can be accepted. So what is the opposite of disgust? Is it acceptance, or is it feeling clean? You know, like it's then giving the intention of addressing the negative emotions, finding the opposite, and then giving the intention of the opposite to overcome what has already neurologically damaged someone over the course of what is possibly a childhood or in their adulthood or even in the industry. And then by bringing that intention into the equation, we want to, as more of the dominant presence in the room, I would like to guide that experience intentionally to be like, okay, what is your love language, and how do we approach the ways that you feel special with the ways of making you feel accepted? Not making you feel, but helping you feel accepted, because I can't technically make someone feel anything. Yeah,
but help them feel accepted and help them feel safe.
Yeah.
I do want to circle back to the love languages.
I know. I see that.
Every time you say it, I'm like, but wait, I have so many things I want to get into first.
Okay.
Because I think that so much of your work is about creating safety for your clients. And that is so different from my work, because a big issue in my work is creating safety for myself.
Yes.
Because I'm meeting up with men who are usually physically stronger than me. My work puts me in some situations that could be like very dangerous potentially.
Yeah.
And with my clients, it's important for me to make them feel comfortable and make them make sure that they feel comfortable being vulnerable with me, but they are not worried about their physical safety with me. But for you, it's completely different.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Completely opposite. And I think if people are watching, they can see the like size disparity between the two of us.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course, I look way more physically domineering as far as size comparison. But it is the opposite in I have to, and that's like the first step is regulating a nervous system that doesn't know the difference between, a man and a bear, because your body doesn't know, your body and your mind don't really know time, but it knows feelings. So it's like,
and if you have a lot of unsafe experiences with men, then it immediately, especially with like a man who's like who's physically large, it obviously makes a lot of women feel on edge immediately. Some
people don't have any good experiences with men. Some people were raised to only have bad experiences with men, and that to me is really upsetting. But it's like, I hope that I can help them, and I think that's the part of the value that I like to kind of add in there. You're right, it's just I have to exist in a way that is consistent, so I don't trigger an avoidant response. I have to also come to the space in a way that is reassuring, so I don't trigger an anxious attachment response, or and these are the same things as fight or flight. So if I can manage those two things, consistent reassurance in a way that they understand, then I'm already regulating a nervous system without them realizing.
How do you handle like doing that when you're having a bad day? Because like one of the difficult parts of my work is like sometimes I'm just having like a bad day, like something bad has happened in my personal life and I'm upset about it, and I go to work and part of my job is pretending that I'm in a good mood even if I'm not, and usually pretending like helps me feel better anyway. But I don't have to have this concern also of like making sure I'm regulated enough to help my client be regulated, because usually my client is not needing that level of reassurance and safety from me.
Your clients, it seems like they just need a visual safety. They need to be shown that they're safe, as far as no one's going to jump out at them.
Yeah, I mean, they already know that they're physically safe.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just want to feel comfortable being emotionally vulnerable.
So
they just want to know that I'm non-judgmental and that I'm supportive. And
so they need to see that you are emotionally safe.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. I forgot what the question was.
About how you deal with like regulating yourself when you're having a bad day, because you have to provide so much emotional stability for your clients.
How deep do you want me to go into this?
As deep as you're willing to go.
That's been your answer all day.
Yeah, I like going deep, so as much as you're comfortable with. Yeah.
Okay. I could go down a more recent experience that I had. But this is currently like me in the process of it. So it's
okay. I want to hear that.
Okay. Well, first I'll give you a quick structure of what, like, we all have good days and bad days. And if we think about work as work, we just do the work. And especially as a man, you don't have feelings. You don't have feelings when you're at work. You either have work or you have feelings. Neither the two shall meet. No, it's like it's, if I have a bad day, it's usually turned around by the booking, because most of my bad days are either I haven't provided for my own needs, whether that is food, water, sleep, the usual things as a human, and sometimes having someone be there as like my dopamine as an ADHD individual is like really good, and it's like, oh, I can get good feelings out of this, therefore it changes my whole day around. I could be dreading the booking all day, and then as soon as it starts, I'm fantastic, which is probably not healthy.
But I find the same thing, because like I said, I find that like pretending to be in a good mood puts me in a better mood, and also focusing on someone else.
Yes. Yeah.
It makes me feel better.
Yeah, and also compartmentalizing the different versions of you and be like, well, Rhys is happy, so you better be fucking happy. Which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But then you also, like, I do way too much reflecting and thought, unfortunately. I'm stuck by myself a lot of the time.
Why
in
do you
these
say
hotels.
it's too much?
Because I become, like, probably overcautious about how I'm perceived and what I should be thinking about. And with all of that, there comes times where emotions sometimes don't present themselves at convenient times. And I'm going to say that as sometimes, but I mean all the time. Emotions that you don't deal with are not going to present themselves at convenient times. So if you are sad and you've been compressing that sadness, it's going to explode at some point, and then all of a sudden you're crying and you're like, I don't know why I'm crying, but something happened. And that's kind of like, okay, I am very consciously aware that I can set aside emotion for later. So, for example, more recently, I was away, right? I was at a booking for quite a long duration, 2 weeks, and I had a family member pass away when I was back home. So then,
while you were on the booking?
Yeah. While I was on the booking. So I was
awful.
like,
I'm so sorry.
How do I process grief when I still have another week left of, it's not like, it's very much myself, but it's also like, I don't want to bring that energy into the space of someone who has trusted me and given me so much opportunity and money and time of theirs, that like, I don't want to tarnish that experience for them. And it's like, okay, I've got to put that away for now. And so that is something that I need to deal with later. and it's gonna come up at some stage, but it's probably not gonna be something I can deal with until I get back home, which is next week. So it's like I can already feel it kind of coming up.
But
And I've
so
got to be like,
it sounds like you're pretty good at like compartmentalizing your emotions. Like I don't know if I would be able to do that.
I think it's just training. Yeah, no, I genuinely
Is
do.
there a gym for that?
Oh,
Well, can I
God.
sign up?
God, that's a great point. Yeah, yeah. The gym is the gym is in your own head, and you know that door that you've like locked down in your subconscious that you're never meant to open that says "Do not open," and you basically got to open that door, take a chair, and fucking sit in it, and see what comes up.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one of those like if you don't laugh you'll cry moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's okay. We don't have to go there now. You can do that in your own time.
But I just
I have to.
But I just think like also from other things we've spoken about, like we were speaking before the episode about how you have like boundaries about what you will speak with clients and what you won't, and you compartmentalize certain things in certain ways. And I don't do that, which probably is to my own detriment. Like I talk about almost everything with clients. There are a few questions I won't answer. I'm very open about my personal life. I don't really feel like there's a difference between like my true self and Lucy Huxley. Like it's all just me.
Yeah.
But I feel like you have a different approach to it, which might be healthier or healthier for you.
I don't.
At least.
Yeah, I'm like I don't know what's healthy and what's not.
I guess it's
Like,
very personal.
Absolutely.
Like
yeah.
it's whatever works best for you.
And it does really well for you business wise. Like it's the law of equivalent exchange, right? You give what you're willing to receive. Like you're willing to not sacrifice. You're willing to trade basically, whether that is yourself, and that is parts of yourself, whether that is time, energy, attention, and you receive what you want, which is, I assume your intention is influence social media wise and money.
I mean,
to some degree, not completely, but
yeah.
there is elements to that when it comes to what you get from work and purpose.
Yeah.
Right?
Because for me, it's not really about, it's not like I share so much of myself because I know I'll get something back. It's like, I don't know how to be any other way. Like I want to share that much of myself, and if I don't do that, I feel less fulfilled. Like I find the most fulfillment and personal growth from like sharing myself to the point where it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I just feel like I have to.
Yeah.
Like
See, I think that's really like, to me, that's like poetic, because like you're just living your life, right? And that's often very hard for a lot of people to do, myself included. Like I find it very hard to kind of to live my life on social media. And that's why I think a lot of what I do on there is just answer questions. And sometimes it's very deep, sometimes it's ridiculous, but it's just I'm answering questions and that's it. What you do is very brave for someone like me, where like I have to be very politically correct. I have to be very like conscious of what I say online. I think it's a different set of rules as far as expressing myself online. And that's not to say that like personally I'm a bad person. I wouldn't say that I'm a good person, but I wouldn't say that I'm like a bad person either.
why
It's
wouldn't
not
you
like,
say you're a good person?
well, I think because I've done bad things.
Yeah, but everybody has.
I agree,
That's
yeah.
not how it works.
But it's acknowledgement of those things. Like it's not dismissing them as like, oh, I did them, and that now that I can like say that I did them, it makes me a good person. It's like,
Yeah,
oh
but-
no, I've been a bad person before, and I've been a good person before, and I can choose as to who I want to be. I'm choosing online to hopefully make people feel good. And I think that was where I was going with that. I've also in my career been like given everything to my sex work identity, and then had it all taken away, in which I didn't really like. I had a whole identity crisis, I guess you'd call it, but it's totally changed my perception of what my needs are. So getting to a point where Rhys is successful, but somehow something's wrong, was like, oh, what are my personal needs? Like, who am I behind my work self? And then keeping that separate, and then learning to, I had like episodes of burnout a couple of years ago where I would just get sick for weeks at a time, and I couldn't figure out why, but it's because I just didn't have any personal time. I would just work non-stop. And turns out when I mask so much, it's all just going to kind of crumble down eventually. And so this way that you present yourself online and in person is very much you, and it's like beautiful to see, because genuinely it's just like, I'm just being me. And at the end of the day, this is still me just being me, but I think I'm a lot more cautious about how people perceive me and how much space I take up as a human being. But generally, because of, I think, my conditioning with women that have been hurt by people that look and sound and present themselves like me, it's made me a little bit probably too aware of the damage that I'm capable of causing just by existing in spaces that are not welcome to me.
Can you expand more on that? Like,
Absolutely,
why you think
yeah,
you're capable of causing damage just by existing?
Because we mentioned earlier, the body doesn't know the difference between a bear and a man when there is a threat in the room. And that's what I mean. It's like I can walk into a room that I was unaware that I was not welcome in and do damage without realizing it. And a lot of men don't know that. But like I said, I'm probably too aware of that.
Yeah, I think
and so,
it sounds like you are.
Yeah, so I just don't walk into rooms. I literally just don't socialize with people because I'm like, I just want people to feel good around me. So I would rather they come to me willingly.
Yeah.
It sounds like a very creepy way to put it.
No, it doesn't sound creepy. It sounds a little bit sad. Like, you should be willing to, you should feel comfortable going into rooms and socializing and
one-on-one, sure. Yeah. But that's one-on-one with people who are like coming to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I feel comfortable with that. But I am extremely uncomfortable in group settings. Extremely. And that's from years of just doing one-on-one work.
But do you think that's also because of your neurodivergence?
Big time.
Yeah.
It's almost like I need to clock everyone in the room, who they're interacting with, what they are like as a person, how they present themselves, what makes them feel special in the room so that I can interact with them one-on-one if ever given the chance. And that's kind of how I feel comfortable, is usually if I am able to communicate with one person at a specific time, I kind of just hang out with that one person. And then gradually that allows me an observation to view the rest of the group. But when you have the element of like pretty privilege involved as well, people kind of just come to you. And that's terrifying sometimes when there's too many people that are like, hey, what's your deal? And I'm like, oh God, I don't know these strangers. I haven't learned enough, quick enough. But like, I tried to go back to uni last year and I had like a breakdown, like coming into the cohort, because I couldn't figure out how to be a version of me in a group setting of strangers, because the degree that I was doing was very much a close-knit group of people.
Interesting.
So they had known each other for 4 years up to that point, and then me, the stranger, comes in, and yeah, it was very like confronting. I couldn't stop sweating. I couldn't talk. Like I couldn't, like if it gets really bad, my throat just closes up, and I'm just like, oh, and I just have to sit in the corner and try and regulate for a little bit. Yeah, it sounds really freaking weird saying it out loud. But it's like I've conditioned myself to become that because of the hyper focus with one-on-one people.
Yeah.
Which is why this conversation works really well.
Yeah, because it's just us two.
Oh, is there?
There's 1,000 people listening.
Oh no. Oh, wonderful.
That makes me think about, I recently got asked a question in an interview about the difference between intimacy and performance. And my answer to that was that the lines between intimacy and performance are actually often blurred. And especially in my work, I think that there's a lot of overlap. Like if I am filming an OnlyFans video with my boyfriend, for example, my boyfriend is like the person I'm most intimate with. And when we have sex, it's very intimate. But because we're filming it, there's an aspect of performance going on, which is both of it. Or if I'm with a client and he wants me to do a specific fetish that like is not really innate to me, so it feels like a bit of a performance to do it. I'm performing for him, but it allows him to reach like an incredibly intimate moment in himself. But from all of what you just said, I'm curious about how comfortable you feel with performing. as opposed to intimacy, or if they overlap for you in the same way?
That's a really good question. I think for a long time it was performing. I think like we grew up on porn. Like we only knew intimacy through performances.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time it was misconceived performances of what intimacy should be.
Mm-hmm.
But it was performances nonetheless. So we always, like, I always felt like I was performing for the other person.
Mm-hmm. Like in sex in general.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
In so many settings, I think what I'm really good at is acting normal for a not normal person. If that helps. Okay, cool. So it's like, I'm a very visual learner. I'm a very kinesthetic learner. So the more experience I get, the easier the performance becomes. To the point where I'm not sure what is performing and what is normal. I genuinely just think that life is a bit of a performance, and I think the best performances are authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's what makes it fun as well. Is I don't need to be my unsure self in intimate settings. I can just be, whatever happens. This is gonna be a bit vulnerable here, but it's like, I have to give my clients a disclaimer of how I act after I climax, because
Mm-hmm.
it's like a bit of the mask drops, and they say I get funnier. I think I just get obnoxious.
Can you explain more?
I think it's like the endorphin rush just kind of hits, and I'm in a state of euphoria because of the exercise, the passion, the intensity, and then after I climax, all of that just kind of gives this feeling of relief, and then this rush of relaxation hits, and I feel like I can just say whatever I want to, which is kind of a bad thing. And I've actually set a rule for myself, which is like, I'm not allowed to make TikToks after bookings. Yeah, that is an actual rule I set for myself. Because one time
What happened?
nothing. Nothing major happened. I just said something that was like, could be taken differently, and then I was like, well, I'm deleting that.
I think you should still film them afterwards, but just keep them in your drafts, and then you can decide later. Because I think those moments could lead to some really good.
It's like the
really good
high
stuff.
thoughts notes.
Exactly.
In people's phones.
Yeah, because sometimes they are actually interesting. Like not all the time.
Yep. No.
You know?
Look,
But it's worth.
I will
being
take
open
that.
to.
I'll take that tidbit and be like, maybe. Yeah, but it's definitely a rule I've set to be like, I shouldn't be allowed in public after I finish. That's not a thing.
I'm excited to see this later.
Oh, okay, cool. Good. We have an objective.
I'll report back, guys.
Oh no. The part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I guess it is a performance, but it's not always a performance. Like, it's authentically a performance.
Yeah. I mean, I totally know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm like,
but I don't know if other people will.
true. Oh no.
I feel like that's so much of sex work is like it's an authentic performance. Like,
yeah.
but I don't know. I also I grew up training to be a ballet dancer. Like I was on stage from when I was 3. So like performance is like, I'm very comfortable on a stage. I love performing. It's like always been a part of my life.
Yeah, okay.
But obviously performing on a stage is different than like performing in sex work.
Here's interesting. Like, now you mention it, do most kids not perform on stage just growing up?
I mean, did you perform on stage growing up?
Yeah, but not like that.
Because, like, I guess it's quite common as when you're a kid, like maybe you do a dance recital or like a school play or something. But I would perform on stage like 30 times a year at least, or more. Like it was a very intense level, and I was training for these performances all year. And then also as a young adult, like I would do hundreds of shows every year.
Yeah, that's a whole other level of performance that I would not even be able to comprehend. My thing was like, I went to a Steiner school as a
what
child.
School?
A Steiner school.
What is?
Okay, it's
Did you say stoner school?
Basically, Steiner is it's like a education system that is more based around creativity.
Is it kind of like Montessori?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, I went to Montessori
yeah.
when I was a kid.
Okay, so it's like a little bit more hippie, I would say.
Yeah.
So we had to do a play every, I think, 6 months from like grade 2 onwards. But that, I don't know if that has conditioned me. Like, it's kind of
Were
like,
you
was
like
it nature or nurture that fucked me up first?
in these plays? Were you like were you ever like the lead?
Yes.
You were the lead in the plays.
Yeah, I was a blonde hair, blue eyed little rugrat. What did you expect was
I-
going to happen? I was a menace. Like, yeah,
Really?
they were like, he's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of like charisma. I was like, dear God, no. And they were like, you're going as the lead for this one as well. And I was
And
like,
did
okay.
you enjoy it or?
It was pandemonium until I got on stage.
Okay.
Yeah. So like rehearsals were fine, but it wasn't until the actual performance. And then when I was on stage, I was fine. Like
Okay.
everything could go wrong and I'd be so comfortable.
But would you enjoy it? Like, would you feel happy afterwards? Like,
Yeah, happy it's over.
okay, so
Yeah.
you didn't like it.
No, I didn't not like it. It was this weird, like I said, it's this weird issue where in the moment I feel great. As soon as it's over, I revert back to what I was before the performance. And then it's like, oh, I was really anxious before the performance. But then it's after the performance, so I'm like, oh, thank God it's over.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, performing for you sounds like a very different, like,
Yeah.
even mentally to wrap your head around. But then how do you link, oh, you were going to do this in a separate conversation. How do you link the performance of ballet to intimacy?
Yeah, I mean, I have been planning on doing a podcast episode about ballet and sex work and all the ways that they're intertwined.
Mhm.
But I don't know, it's very different performing on a stage versus being intimate with a person one-on-one.
This is the stage.
This is the stage.
This bed is the stage.
It's definitely similar to performing in porn in some ways. I feel like there's more similarities with what I have to do performing in ballet and performing in porn versus being one-on-one with a client.
Yeah.
Because one-on-one with a client, it varies so much. Like sometimes there are certain clients where like they want something specific, and so I do feel like it's more of a performance for them.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
that doesn't happen most of the time.
Yeah, the thing that you mentioned about the difference between performing in porn and performing in person is, yeah, very different from my perspective, because like in porn you have to show penetration, right? I'm like I'm not long enough to perform in porn standards of
Okay.
like constant penetration from all angles. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
mean that's not really the type of porn I've ever done anyway.
Exactly.
Like, it's yeah.
yeah, but it's the type of porn that is like very much mainstream.
Right, that is everyone sees basically.
Yeah, exactly. So that performance alone also changes how I perceive intimacy, because like we could be playing in one position, but then the camera's in a certain position, so we've got to change it a little bit so that the camera captures everything.
Yeah, you always have to be aware of the camera. Yeah.
Always, yeah. And me being hyper aware of everything in the freaking room changes how I am able to engage one-on-one with someone.
Right. So
being that, like, if there's a camera just on, then that's okay. I would just do certain positions that the camera can see.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer having someone film the whole experience so that I don't have to think
You
so
don't
much
have to think
about
it. Yeah.
the angles and lighting. I can just let them capture what they want to capture,
Mm-hmm.
and I can just focus on what I'm doing, because that's more engaging for me.
Right.
Yeah, I can be like, oh, someone's here, but I can just be like, it's fine.
You can still focus on the person in front of you as opposed to having to think about
Exactly.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's one-on-one is like way more engaging without a camera. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, because the camera is this third party that you have to be aware of.
Yeah.
It's always in your mind. I mean, it does depend. I don't know about you, but I also get turned on by the camera because I'm an exhibitionist. So
Yeah.
that does
Yeah.
add like a level of enjoyment for me.
I prefer people watching.
Like people watching live.
My exhibition side prefers seeing their reaction.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I want to be included in what they're experiencing.
Okay. Interesting. I've never really. I guess I have experienced that. Like, because most of my exhibitionism has been through cameras, or on like even like bigger film sets for porn.
Mhm.
But it's a bunch of people there, but they're all like on set. They're
Yeah.
not like there because they want. I mean, I'm sure they want to see
They're
me have
not-
sex. But that's not why they're there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Haven't had as many experiences of people watching me have sex. Just
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I've
Because-
had a few,
Mhm.
but it's been like events or like an adult swingers club.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
I have had sex at a lot of like parties and nightclubs in Berlin.
Yep, that's
'Cause
cool.
that's what you do there.
That is something that's like on my bucket list.
Really?
To go to Berlin and go to an event that is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
open.
Yeah. Or
Um,
just there's certain nightclubs where you can just
Yes, yeah.
just go and fuck on the
But
benches.
you have to dress the
and-
right way.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you do.
I wouldn't even know where to begin. I wouldn't even know what to do to
I'll
start
help you
that
out.
journey. Thank you.
You can come to
Thank
Berlin
you.
and I'll
What will you dress me as?
you're gonna have to look a little bit gay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think everyone's a little bit gay.
I'm
Is it?
glad to hear that. You know
Yeah.
what? I am probably the straightest person I know.
Elaborate, please.
I am so straight. It's like
You said that. What do you mean?
like I'm not even a little bit gay. And I really wish I was.
I mean, yep, okay.
I've tried, especially in my early 20s, I experimented with women. I was like, yeah, I'm going to try all of this. And it just does absolutely nothing for me.
That's so funny.
And it really has been a hindrance to my porn career because I won't shoot scenes, like full on scenes with women. I'll do like side by side things or like naked wrestling and like fun stuff. But like, I'm not going to like have sex because
How have we had the same conflict of like thoughts? Because I'm like, my career would be way easier if I was gay.
but you just said you're a little bit gay.
Well, I mean, if I was fully gay, I'd make way more money. I would men are quite easy to satisfy as far as
Yeah.
like sexual needs go. It's not that they're easier. They're just more direct in that they burst and they leave. Like that's a very crass way to put it. I know, but I'm like I'm working with what I got here. Yeah, no, like why is yours so conflicting for you?
Well, it's just I wouldn't say it's conflicting. I've
Okay.
I've accepted my straightness.
Oh.
But I do,
Okay.
especially I don't know, in Berlin, like all of my friends are queer at least a little bit. Like
Okay.
it's rare.
Yeah.
Like I just never meet someone who's as straight as I am,
Okay.
and I just wish I wasn't so straight.
Why? Why do you wish that you weren't so straight?
Because I feel like I could have more fun experiences, and it would be better for work.
I'm very straight, but like I wouldn't wish that I was different now. I'm like, yeah, there's advantages to it, but I'm like, I don't think I would change who I am at my core because of.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be at the core. Just like a little
Oh.
bit of
Oh.
enjoying having sex with. You
Okay.
know? Like,
Yeah. Wait. So. Like it's not that you're. How do I say this? But there's times in which you've experimented. Out
Yeah.
of curiosity. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little gay.
Okay. What? You
See?
think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said,
Huh.
everyone's a little gay, and if you're willing to experiment out of curiosity, then that can be that little bit.
That's enough.
Yeah, it was enough for
Okay.
me, I guess. Just,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Just-
All right.
I think every. Oh, that's great.
So we're all a little bit gay.
Yeah, we're a little gay. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. We've gotten so far off the.
I
I
think
don't
it's
even know
great.
what we were originally talking about.
I've forgotten. Something about performative intimacy,
Right.
and then we transitioned into.
Into being a little bit gay.
Oh, we transitioned into like exhibitionism, I think, as well.
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm performing for the camera.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. Which we will be doing.
Yeah.
Later.
What about your voyeurism side? Because I really enjoy watching people like that I know play.
I don't know. I feel like my only voyeurism is I love watching a guy that I'm into with another guy. That's
There it is.
so hot. Oh
There
my
it
god.
is. Okay.
Like watching my boyfriend make out with another guy,
Amazing.
I would pay a lot of money for that.
Okay.
Or like fully have sex with another guy. Like that's yeah. I really enjoy that aspect of voyeurism. If it's people I don't know, not really. It has to be someone that I'm attracted to or already sexually involved with. Watching them with someone else.
Do you think that that's a level of like demisexuality? Like you're invested in, the person.
Like I'm
therefore-
demisexual.
like
I'm a
you have-
demisexual voyeur.
Yeah. Not just for voyeurism, but like in general.
No,
That like it just kind of adds to it. It's like you have depth with the person that you're now watching enjoy pleasure in a different way. That it's like kind of for you, but not for you. But yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Just curious.
So you enjoy watching people?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm like, if I had a partner, I would enjoy watching them receive and give pleasure to others, because I think there is a sense of purpose, especially for like people pleasers like myself and a lot of people I know. It's like, oh, I get pleasure from giving pleasure to people. So, but then to experience their pleasure secondhand or third party by observing it is wonderful. Even receiving videos from like lovers in the past where they've made them with other people. It's like, that's awesome. I love that.
Okay. See, for me, it's more about like, it's less about like, it's not as pure-hearted as yours. For me, it's not like, oh, like they're receiving pleasure. For me, I'm just like, that's really hot. That's
Actually,
really hot, and I want to watch that.
Yeah. Maybe it's that as well. Like I haven't jumped that far into it. I haven't experimented enough, I think, to justify that that's the cause. But I like that because it's straightforward as well. Like me, I'm like, one of the not scariest, one of the biggest moments was when I took a friend to my first ever play party, and like her and I have been playing for years, and then watching her play with someone else, there was this huge adrenaline rush, and I was like, whoa, this is intense. And then I just sat with it to figure out, first off, why. You don't realize until you're in the moment, and a lot of people will see an adrenaline rush as like something negative. So it's usually fight or flight. So usually run away, which is obviously like my instant response is to fly when it comes to those sorts of engagements. But sitting with it allowed me to just take in what I actually like about it, because adrenaline's not always bad. You get adrenaline when you experience a lot of pleasure. So I really just enjoyed how turned on they were in that moment, and I think they were turned on watching me watch them, kind of thing. So it's this like positive homeostasis loop of like more is more and snowballs.
Yes.
And I think that's
totally
the beauty of pleasure in bigger settings with more people. It can be so much more than what we ever expected or have experienced, but it can also be very bad depending on how you're able to process it all.
And if you're ready for it. And
exactly. It's such a sink or swim moment for so many people. I think that's why swingers get a lot out of it. I think that's why a lot of dynamics open up, because in today's day and age where we have access to so many different people, those communities are thriving, whereas before we only had access to very limited people, so we would kind of connect in a very monogamous way.
Are you like monogamous in your personal life?
No. My personal life is, non-monogamous and as ethical as you can be. I think it's complicated when I'm not in a relationship, because then it's like I have close friends, lovers that I will see, whether it's dependent on city, country, whichever. I try to keep it as open as possible, but it's again, communication is consistent. So how am I able to communicate when I'm already kind of all socialed out with work and juggling that as well? And I try to communicate that as well and be like, look, some days I'm going to be able to communicate, some days I'm not. We're just going to have to figure that out as we go. And again, like, I don't even know if I'm doing the right thing or not. So like, that's why I say ethically questionably, because I'm hoping that it is. But
I think as long as you communicate and you have good intentions, but I'm curious, like, what your experience has been like dating while doing sex work, because I'm curious if, like, as a male sex worker dating women, like, how that if it varies at all from the experience from my experience dating men while doing this job.
Dating, I mean, I don't know what it's like to date men. Dating women is very much, how do I say this? I've had very different relationships going through sex work. So it's some I've learned a lot from. Actually, all of them I've learned a lot from and grown a lot from. But I think, and this isn't to blame my partner's very much myself as far as communication goes, but it's like you have to be very secure in your dynamic in order to maintain sex work, because it's hard for people to justify your time being spent intimately with other people, if especially when they don't get that time themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to budget that energy with them specifically, and yeah, it's all very different. It's all very different, and I have a lot of love for a lot of different people for all different reasons. And then was with a polyamorous individual that was very well at very good at communicating, but they had more needs than I was able to provide for them specifically, and I think there was a lot of expectations that weren't met from both sides that made it difficult. And yeah, like I said, I'm at a point in life where I travel so much, and even though I thought that they would have their needs met by other people, unfortunately that wasn't the case for them, and it didn't really work out. And that was just my last relationship officially.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I just try and maintain that intention of communicate and keep things very open and very adaptable. Yeah, I don't think there's a set what it's like. It's just kind of I guess I'm learning.
It depends.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the experience, because this has happened to me and it's happened to most other women sex workers I know, where we start dating a guy and they say that they're fine with the sex work, but then later on it becomes a problem and they use it against us and it's awful and they're really not okay with it and they try to get us to stop, or yeah.
I think I did exactly that, but in a very different way. It was when I say you have to be very secure is exactly what I meant. They want more time and energy, and all that time and energy that you would need for your clients, they don't feel secure enough to have that independence. They need the codependence of all of your energy, because they don't like the idea of other people experiencing you in a way that is only meant for them by societal standards. But technically they don't know you any other way. They don't know that they're experiencing you in a more vulnerable setting than your clients are.
Yeah, because they're not a client. They can't see.
Yeah, they can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Your clients also can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Only you can tell the difference. And
they have to trust you to explain that, basically.
Yeah, and even sometimes I've tried to explain that, and it's been it doesn't work like that. And even in some cases I've been look, let's do a booking. Let's do a role play booking, and I'll show you how it goes, and we'll see if you like it or not. And every time they're like, no, no, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, good, okay. Well then, I don't know what else to do. Yeah.
It's hard to explain to people who are not in the industry. Very.
Yeah. And even I think I've dated workers before, and even that's kind of difficult, because what sometimes we need is, foundationally just a rock to be there. I mentioned earlier, reassurance and consistency, because sometimes that's all we need to regulate. And if you're an avoidant like me, you need that consistency, and if it's not there, then I will not be there either, kind of thing. So your partner has to kind of help regulate. But the problem that I was having is that I was regulating my partners a lot of the time and my clients, and so me time didn't really exist. I didn't really have that. But I didn't know any of this. I just thought that was how I was meant to be in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see where you're coming from and where a lot of the other workers are coming from, where they try and get you to stop doing sex work. But for me, I've kind of come into my relationships being this is just what I'm doing and who I am. You can't good luck trying to change it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way I am now also, but yeah.
I see a lot of workers leave for relationships.
Yes, that's very common.
Or I see workers have their partners manage their business side of things. I don't think that's right, but I'm not here to yuck anyone's yums or judge anybody, so I'm just going to observe and
from afar.
Yeah, and then watch them come back a few years later. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm just experiencing life. Continue.
One thing I wanted to ask you about earlier is what's your perspective on this societal messaging that women in general want less sex than men do? And I'm particularly curious about what is the frequency of sex when you have longer bookings? Because you mentioned being on like a 2-week booking. And for me, if I was on a booking that long with a man, it would be expected that we would have sex once or twice a day. And I'm curious if that's the same with your female clients or not.
No, I don't think it is. It wouldn't be once or twice a day. It would be like once every 1 to 2 days. So it wouldn't the frequency wouldn't relatively increase due to the duration of the booking. It's more the feeling is extended. Like you're still thinking in regards to executing services, which is what men focus on. Women, for me, my clients are focusing on how long they can feel good for. Sex is just an added bonus. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like...
That's a great question.
Would you say in general, like, women want less sex than men for
No.
that reason? That maybe the frequency is less important to them?
No, let's think about it like this. If the average man lasts, 5 to 7 minutes in bed, is that your average time that you have sex with clients?
Yeah, but so my issue with that is like, 5 to 7 minutes of penetration.
Yeah.
But for me, sex is not just penetration.
Yes, but for them,
Yeah,
technically, the service.
for them, yeah.
Okay, so then it would, and the average, this is all based on like self-placed statistics, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I think the average like female sexual experience is 12 to 14 minutes or something. So
So your experiences with clients are longer, basically. Like when you have sex with clients, it lasts for longer than with my clients.
We're not having sex for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We're having sex for longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way it should be. And also, I think, like, especially when you view sex as, like, more than just penetration.
Yes.
Like, it can go on for a long time.
Very long time. If we know anything about, let's just say, lesbian dynamics, which I personally know nothing about, but I do know that their play sessions go for a lot longer than 5 to 7 minutes. Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah, it can be never ending. I also like, because I went through a period where I had vulvodynia, which is basically a medical condition where your vagina hurts and no one can tell you why or how to fix it. So I couldn't have any penetrative sex. So that was a period for me of like having sex without that and doing other things. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I have many questions around that.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is, what I guess outside of penetrative sex, did you find that long-term gratification in those other ways, and in what ways were more appealing to you? How did you find satisfaction outside of penetrative sex? And if...
I think, like, at the time, it was just a lot about just experimenting with different things, like trying new things, trying different ways to bring us both pleasure. And it was a relatively short period. I think it was like 3 or 4 months that I was dealing with it, so it wasn't like a super long-term thing. But I don't know, also because I had a boyfriend at the time, so like our sex was still like focused around his orgasm. Like with heterosexual sex, it's kind of the script that like when the man comes, that's the end of it. And so that's another question I wanted to ask you also, is like the role of your orgasm in your bookings.
Yes.
Because with my work, it's like my goal a lot of the time, it depends on the client, but a lot of the time my goal is to get my client to orgasm. And that's what he wants also. But with your clients, it's like, it's different. Like, do they want you to orgasm? Does it always happen? Like, what role does your orgasm play?
There is so much to talk about here.
With your clients.
Like that is a great question, and it's like there is heaps, like you said, the societal standard is that it's based around the male orgasming to finish.
Yeah.
Right? It's featured in movies, whatever. It's like he finishes, they roll over, have a cigarette.
End. Yeah.
It's the same, but a lot longer. And I say a lot longer in that, like, I would be edging the entire session until there is a point where I think that, or even I get consent to finish, and that also depends on where and how and whether they want that, but also whether I can, because sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. And the idea that I'm going to come every time isn't an expectation I want to put out there for anyone. Like, that goes both ways. It's like I saw someone was not happy that the Male Escort showed up, or they started playing and he wasn't hard. It's like, I'm not hard sometimes. Like, it happens.
Yeah.
And I trust that it'll happen, and it happens. The other thing is, I don't take any performance enhancing things to get there. It's just, it's about that arousal. And I say arousal different to attraction because those are different things, and they help each other, obviously, but again, different things. So like, it finishes usually when I climax, and that's mainly because I can't do much other than sit there and talk shit for a good 30 minutes. And I say 30 minutes because that's usually like my turnaround time to go again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's after playing for quite a while. And I say, like, you know, on average, I would say between 20 to 40 minutes of like play, sex, the whole lot. An hour all up if we're doing like foreplay and kissing and stuff. So it's a long time to stay erect for. Like, it would be unhealthy to try and maintain that erection the entire time. The question wasn't anything to do with that. And I'm trying to come back to the question. It's definitely more focused on my client's pleasure, and that is paramount. But often, a lot of time, like, women have trouble climaxing with men there, like, because it's overwhelming or it's overstimulating, or all sorts of reasons. So it's also not expected for them to come, because the moment you put pressure on someone climaxing, especially women, is the moment they're not going to climax at all, and they're going to get very, very frustrated. And I've seen that happen where they put pressure on themselves to finish, and they're like, I'm so close, why won't it do the thing? And I'm like, maybe we just stop trying to do the thing and just let it happen. And it can get there that way. But also, women have this amazing ability to have multiple orgasms and different types of orgasms, and I'm rather jealous. I just make a mess and then I'm finished. And then I turn into a puddle. So like, you've got penetrative orgasms, external clit stimulation orgasms.
I can have nipple orgasms.
That's awesome.
Cervical orgasms.
God, I can't have any of those. So like, there's so many cool things to play with.
Yeah.
That sounds like, very mature of me. But then, because everyone's individual, I'm just kind of there to indulge in their pleasure, and that's how I get pleasure. The moment they are not having fun, then I'm not having fun. It's just, there's no point me being there if they check out as far as disassociate because of a trauma response. There's no point in me being there if they're in pain and they're just trying to endure because they think that that's what's expected of them, because that's what they've been conditioned in previous relationships to do. It's just have sex as a duty rather than a pleasure or a luxury, or indulge in their own feeling of pleasure. People are very much conditioned to only feel like they deserve bad feelings when it comes to intimacy, and I think that they need to learn to accept good feelings.
Yes.
But anyway, yes, I agree. The question was more to do with, is it the same or is it different, right, between female clients and your male clients, or
or just
climaxes at the
the
objective?
role that orgasm plays in your bookings, because I think it's different to mine. It is different to mine. Yeah.
You said, do they expect you to come? Some do. Some do. Most of the time I will, but sometimes I won't, and that's okay too. Like, I have to learn to not put pressure on myself.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that a lot, and then I'd be exhausted even more.
Yeah. And it doesn't help you come if you're stressed about it. Like, that's
not at all. Not at all. Even though I don't know how I've managed to keep going. I think I did an international tour, and my assistant sent me a mug that was like a trophy. It's gonna sound bad. There was like a congrats kind of thing that was like, we calculated that I came 28 times in 2 weeks.
Wait, do you send your assistant like your cum data? Like,
It came up in conversation. It came up in conversation. It's not something that I track generally. I just looked back at like this ridiculous trip that I had and was like, how many times did I finish? And it was like 28 times. And I was like, what is wrong with me? And that's when you
twice
start
a day. Plenty of men can do that masturbating at home.
That's different. That is very different.
True, it is very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So was it twice a day, or was it like grouped into like one day like 4 times, another day not?
That's more than twice a day. 28 times in 2 weeks?
That's exactly twice a day.
Oh, what am I thinking of? Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh wow. My math was way off. Holy. What was the question? No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it'll be like one day, and then like 3 the next,
Okay.
and then like none the next day, and then it'll be like 4 or like 5. Yeah, it wasn't consistently twice a day, but you're right. Most men can do that in the morning and at night.
Yeah.
To wake up and go to sleep.
And you want a trophy that says "Cum Champion" for it.
I don't want one. She sent me one, and I was like, oh no, I have to own this. I have this now. I'm trying to think of like, do you find that men have Pavloved themselves into falling asleep after they come?
No.
Interesting.
It happens sometimes, but like not super often.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was very curious because I'm like, there's been times where I would masturbate before going to sleep.
Uh-huh.
And then the next group of bookings, I'll just keep falling asleep. Became a real problem. And I had to apologize to them. I'd wake up, like, it was bad. It was bad. There was a good week where I was like, oh, this is not what I should be doing.
I'm jealous of you because like I cannot fall asleep with clients. Like on overnights, I am lying there awake.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, I have to like I can't do anything the next day because I'm like, I'm going to have had like 2 hours of sleep. It's awful.
I sleep bad, but I don't not sleep. I turn into a different person if I don't get like 6 hours sleep.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, me too.
I would just stop doing overnights if I was you.
Well, so the rule I have now is that any bookings longer than 24 hours, I need my own room. Because I can handle one night of not sleeping properly, and then I know I go home at some point the next day.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I can survive
sense.
that. But more than one night of that, I can't do. So I require my own bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very different. Because I guess sometimes my clients don't sleep. They just stay awake the entire time. And I feel horrible. Like, I feel bad for them.
Like, they can't sleep or they choose to stay awake?
They're probably both
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, but sometimes they can't sleep. And I think it's because I'm in their bed.
Yeah.
But then I'm kind of confused as to why they booked the overnight if it's
Yeah,
just,
I mean, I guess they didn't know that. I don't know.
No, they
don't
do.
know. Okay.
They
Just want to watch you sleep,
I
like
guess,
Edward Cullen.
Yeah. That's a romantic way to put it. The wide eyes.
I mean, I've had clients do that before, like just be watching me sleep when I eventually do fall asleep, and I wake up and they're like staring at me.
It makes sense why you can't sleep next to them anymore.
Yeah.
Your paralysis demon is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were asking about the objective sexually earlier in your bookings being like the male climax.
Yeah.
Do you find that there is like emotions attached to that, generally speaking? Like, do you find that there is sometimes negative emotions attached to it, or do you find it overwhelmingly positive emotions attached to
On my side or
the
on their
climax?
side?
On their side.
No, I don't find that they have negative emotions
Okay.
attached to it. Like, it's just what they want, and it's a release, and yeah, most of the time I feel like it's quite straightforward.
Oh, that's good. I only say that because when I had male clients, there were times when they were probably closeted.
Uh-huh.
And so when, like, I'd be like, you can, do it yourself. I'll just kind of be here.
Mm-hmm.
And they would, they'd finish, but then they would be out of the door so quickly.
I guess it
with
brought
this
up a lot of
sense like,
shame
Yeah.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was curious as to
Interesting.
whether that kind of came up with you in your bookings.
No, I haven't really experienced that.
Okay.
No.
I haven't seen male clients for years, but it was just kind of out of curiosity.
Yeah. It makes sense in that context.
Big time.
I think the last thing I want to, we've been talking for 2 hours, crazy.
Yeah.
We can keep on going. But I think the last thing I want to talk
We
about.
will never have sex. 3 days later. Sorry. Continue.
It's just a video on OnlyFans of just us sitting here talking. No, I'm excited to have sex.
Me too.
The last thing I want to talk about is love languages.
Yes.
Because you talk about love languages and how you use them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe in love languages, and I'm quite against them. Okay. So first of all, I'm not like yucking anyone's yum. I'm not trying to say if anyone uses love languages, it's a problem. But I want to hear from you, like, why you like love languages and how they're useful in your work.
Can I, out of curiosity, ask what your reluctance is towards them?
Yeah, I was going to go after, but I can go first.
I would love that.
If you want.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. When I found out about love languages in my early 20s, I was a bit like, okay, well, this seems kind of stupid because I want all of these things. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, why do I have to choose 1 or 2 things that are important to me when I should have all of these in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out that the guy who made love languages was a Christian minister with absolutely no education or training in psychology or therapy or psychiatry. Mm-hmm. And he just like made these up with zero basis as a way to help heterosexual couples stay married.
Yes.
And he wrote this book about it. Mm-hmm. And I think love languages, I think they can be a good like conversation starter. Mm-hmm. But I think especially in long-term relationships, they can be used to avoid talking about major issues, like a lack of balance in domestic labor between partners.
Okay.
In the guy who made the love languages, I don't even remember his name. In his book, he uses an example. He talks about like couples he's worked with and like helped with love languages.
Yep.
He talks about this one couple, and the man is clearly being like emotionally abusive to his wife. And he reads the wife a Bible passage about loving your enemies. And he tells her, you need to have sex with your husband twice a week because his love language is physical touch.
Okay.
And so this couple goes off and she has sex with her abusive husband twice a week because that's what her minister has told her to do. And then the update is that the husband is super happy and very thankful to the minister. And the update, like, he doesn't ask about the wife and how she feels being in this abusive marriage.
Yep. I don't mean to laugh or smile throughout you explaining this. I appreciate the passion you put behind it. I think what is interesting is like there's so many things that I can say about this. You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. I've read the book as well, way back in the day, and it was a really good way for me to interpret what people, like how people communicate. Mm-hmm. It had nothing to do with like the person who wrote it. It had nothing to do with the stories he was telling.
Yeah, and I understand that it can totally be separated. Like
you're a smart individual, but you're very good at like research, right? You will hyper focus on what you want to learn about, and you want to know the foundations as to why this was created. But it's like me coming to you or to anyone and explaining complex psychology, and I'm a whore. like what qualification do I have in explaining sexuality or intimacy or connection to people that are more qualified than me, or writing a book?
But you could write a book.
Sure, and then
writing a book doesn't make you qualified.
That's not what we're getting at here. We're getting at the very close, like humorous side of the fact that this pastor wrote something about love.
And you're using it to be a whore.
I am. I'm using religion against itself. No. It's how. Oh, this is so good. It's so bad, but so good. Okay. How I interpreted it was as a tool. We spoke about tools earlier. To me, I like that you got annoyed with just picking one. That makes me very happy, because it's not. We have an issue in society where we like to put things in boxes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other issue in society is you're only allowed to pick one box. I see it in my head as a way of communicating feeling. How to say this? I see love languages as a way of how someone interprets affection and how someone interprets love, but also in a way that they are able to present love and affection. But it's not just one box. I see it as a spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
and I see it as you can have more than one box, and they can be ranked at different levels and for different circumstances. You're not going to have the same level of affection intimately as you would with your family member. So it could be a very different love language. So like gift giving might be very big among friends, but then physical touch is more intimate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like different levels of attraction, different
But
levels
also,
of
like-
love languages beyond the spectrum
Yes.
of it all. Like it's not just one box. It's like
Yeah.
all the boxes at different levels of intensity, at different like layers of social interaction. And it's just a structure.
Yeah, it's just like a framework as an entry into conversation, which I understand. But then also I get annoyed because I'm like, the 5 languages, like this dude just made them up, and like they're not based on anything. Like they're not. I don't think that they're comprehensive, and like studies have shown that couples who like disclose as sharing the same love languages are not any happier than couples who disclose as having different love languages. Like the studies show it doesn't make any difference. But I try not to be too angry about it. I can totally understand how, like, especially with your clients, how it can be like a really good conversation starter, and to understand exactly what it is they're looking for out of the experience with you. Like maybe they do particularly want words of affirmation because they haven't had that in past sexual experiences. Like I can understand it being a helpful framework to start a conversation.
Better yet, it helps me. It's not even like, yeah, it helps the clients understand where they're coming from, but it helps me be able to show them ways in which they feel wanted and appreciated. It helps me identify what I can do that they're going to receive positively. Like the other side of the coin is this same level of like communication can be used against people. And I think I mentioned that in a TikTok. From our brief interaction today, I can gather that you can very much appreciate acts of service. That seems to be a part, like someone doing something for you is...
Why do you say that?
Because I've been doing this a long time.
But I'm curious.
Am I
like,
wrong?
No,
Am I wrong?
no.
Okay. So
No, but I'm curious, like what
exactly?
What
it was?
exactly?
Oh, cool. Yeah, no,
like-
don't worry about that. What I'm saying. No, it's when I offer to pour you a drink, or if I offer to do something for you, you say yes. And that's not like, if you didn't like me as a person, you wouldn't say yes. If you were hyper independent, or if you were unsure, you would do it. You would be like, no, thank you, I'll do it myself. So I know that a part of you is affected by people doing stuff for you, right? Yeah. These are things that I know and I clock, but not intentionally. Like I'm not doing it consciously, being like, oh my God, how am I going to test her on all these love languages? It's like I do it automatically, and then I know how I then gather that information to kind of bring that experience into the like room with us. Yeah. The other side of knowing this is that this is assumption, and please tell me if I'm wrong, because it's really important that if I am wrong, you tell me, that if someone does something if someone you don't like does something for you that you don't agree with, that's taken very personally, and that probably affects you quite deeply.
What do you mean? Like what would be an example of that?
So an example of that would be if someone shuts the door in your face, or if someone like if someone would does something disrespectful, whether that is not cleaning up after themselves or, anything that involves an action that is seen as disrespectful. I think has that been a trigger in some cases?
Yes,
Okay, so I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Why are you acting like this is a magic trick?
Well, because it does. It feels like a magic trick. Like I'm not used to it.
It's really not. It's not. It's just a tool I learned very long ago that has helped me kind of keep bookings in a way that is fun and affectionate and loving and safe. But it's like,
I'm not used to people clocking those things about me. Like,
unfortunately, there'll be questions that I'll ask you that might seem a little bit more invasive than you intend, and I have to preface my clients in saying that, because when I get really tired, it gets worse. I tend to just say things that they're not ready to be seen.
But I want to hear all those things.
Yeah, because you think it's amusing. It's kind of scary, and I don't know why it happens and why I do it, but it works really well for me, and I think that is part of the autism.
And it's part of what makes you so good at your job.
I guess. But yes, is that a good example for you to understand a little bit why love languages work for me?
Yeah.
Cool.
It is.
Cool.
I'm annoyed because you convinced me a little bit.
I see that. And I think somewhat like a little part of you just found yourself more attracted to me. Just blushing, everybody. It's okay.
I'm blushing.
It's beautiful. It's very pretty. I love it. We need more of this, Lucy. Okay.
I think we're gonna end on that note.
Okay, I think so too. This has become a lot more fun, and I think I cannot wait to play with you.
I can't wait either.
Amazing.
All right, thank you to our listeners. You should go pay to watch us continue.
Yes, definitely.
My name is Lucy Huxley. I'm a whore, and thank you for joining us in my bedroom.